Primitivo is a grape variety that became really famous in the last 25, 30 years. It might sound a bit more familiar if I call it Zinfandel, especially for our American friends. We needed to thank or blame mainly the American market why if Primitivo now became actually so common, because the fact that when they discovered, when Zinfandel started to become an issue in Napa Valley, a lot of producers we're talking about Puglia first of all, we're in extreme southeast of Italy, and so they started to replant the Primitivo that was almost abandoned. It was not a big production in Primitivo there. We heard about Primitivo up to the end of 18th century in Italy, so it's a really young tradition. It's only 250 years the Primitivo has been there. Trust me, in Italy 250 years is nothing. If you think that Aglianico has been there for 2,800 years, Nebbiolo possibly 2,000 years, and most of the local grape varieties we have in Italy, Fiano d'Avellino, Viti Sapiane, has been there for more than 1,800 years. So it's a grape variety that is somehow was imported only at the end of the 18th century. So usually I found Primitivo and Zinfandel. It's one of those wines you like when you're a young sommelier and you start to stop liking when you're an old sommelier. It's like Merlot, one of those grape varieties. Well, Merlot is a complex matter, but it's one of those grape varieties that, they're quite immediate. So when you're a young palate, you tend to like it because they're easy drinking. Then you will look for something a bit more complex. So sometimes the problem with Primitivo, that is a bit too fruity, sometimes too much alcohol, they're too heavy. One of those where you like the first glass, but you don't like the second glass as much as you like the first. So you stop drinking it, which could be something good for your health, but at the same time it's bad for the aesthetical side of the wine. And when we met Pietraventosa and Mariangela, there are two winemakers that we love. One is Pietraventosa, the other one is Plantamura. They work on a Primitivo that has got a lower percentage in alcohol, only 13.5. Sometimes Primitivo can reach 16, 17. It's nice to compare Mariangela and Mariangela versus Chiaromonte and Gianfranco Fino, which they make beautiful wine. I'm not saying Gianfranco and Nicola. But Nicola and Gianfranco, even people, you see them, they are kind of super maley type of tough people, like slightly overweight. And they make wines that are actually bolder, a bit more alcoholic. Here we're talking about more elegance, more earthiness, more subtle. The wines here they have this beautiful note of fruit, of ripe fruit, slightly hint of strawberry, but then on the background you have this nice salty finish, earthy finish that makes the wine somehow more drinkable on the wine, more elegant, more also versatile in terms of pairing. So this is a wine I would suggest not to serve it totally warm, slightly chilled. I would say something around the 60, 65 Fahrenheit. Now, what I like immediately when I taste this wine, I get this split. My nose is on one side is going on a nice ripe type of South Italian Mediterranean flavor. On the other side, I get herbal flavor. I get a hint of a licorice, something that is more on balsamic. Same thing on the palate. The center part of the palate is stimulated by sweetness, and then the side of the palate is stimulated by the beautiful, refreshing acidity. I would say that this wine could go with everything. It could go with meat, it could go with beef. I wouldn't go maybe with fish. Maybe it could be a nice pairing for this wine. It's called zuppa lavastese. That is a tomato soup with fish. Something that could, match earth and seaside.